And I remember used to raise my hands in meetings and say, hey, oh, I have an idea. What about this? I would be told in a very, very encouraging way, oh, Geoff, we love the way you think. Like that's incredible. We love your initiative, but we do it this way. And you'd be like, oh, okay. And then, in the next meeting you go, oh, what about this? What about this? Geoff, seriously, your initiative is really something we want you to keep doing, but like we do it this way. And over time you start to think, well, my ideas must just be really bad. So you stop raising your hand. You go, oh, and then you go, well, it must not be the way we do things, so I'm not going to speak up.
Yeah.
And I met my now wife, who I've been married to for 26 years, told me, she was a creative director in an advertising agency, and told me one day, you are a very creative thinker. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not. No. I'm this is what I am. I work at P&G and this is what I do. And she's like, no, you're so much more than that. I hate to tell you, I hate to break this to you, but you need to embrace your creativity. And the more she encouraged me, the more I started to open my mind. And then I left P&G and went to Coca Cola. I worked at Coke 2 different times, but I got to Coke and I had an incredibly creative boss that also encouraged me to use my head and to think and to speak up, and to, if you have an idea, speak up. And if it's a good one, we'll do it. And if it's not, we'll either tell you it's not a good idea, or we'll build on it and we'll turn it into a good idea. So, it's the people in my life that have opened my mind to what could be. And I'm extremely grateful to people like my wife and to some of the bosses that I've had along the way.
Yeah. So that particular boss used your initiative that in Procter & Gamble was just initiative, and showed you that it was actually creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really interesting experience, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month into my first time at Coke. I was in a meeting, I sat there, I didn't say anything. I had ideas, but I didn't say anything because there were like 15 people in the room, and I was new and thought, I'm not going to say anything because that's not what you do. And after the meeting, we were walking out in the hall, and I said to my boss, hey, have you ever thought about this? What about this? And he stopped and said, oh, excuse me, what? And I was like, have you ever thought about such and such? And he's like, oh, hang on 1 second. Everybody, let's get back in the conference room. And I thought, and he pulled everyone back in the conference room and said, hey, have you guys all met the new guy, Geoff? He just got here from P&G. Really smart guy. He's done a lot of really good things. He just had an idea. And I thought we would get everyone back in the conference room. And then he said, before I do, Geoff, you were just in this meeting with all these people for the last hour. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, and you sat there and didn't say a word. You didn't speak up. You didn't say a word. And then you like have the nerve to give me an idea in the hallway afterwards. So like, hey, everyone, I want you to meet Geoff. He's the guy that doesn't speak in meetings. And he said, it's too late to share your idea, but I want you to know that this is Coca Cola, and it's okay for you to have ideas. And in fact, you're expected to have them when you're in the meetings, not in the hallways. And so this is never going to happen again. You're going to speak up in the meetings, and I pay you to think and to push. And if it's a great idea, we're going to do it. And if it's not, I'm going to tell you it's not, and I'll tell you why. But you need to show up. And for me, someone might have looked at that as getting scolded in a meeting. I looked at it as the greatest gift anyone had ever given me in my career, because I was like, what? You mean all these crazy things in my head, all these ideas, I can actually say them? And he was like, yeah. And then he jokingly said to everybody, hey, everyone, you're going to be 10 minutes late to your next meeting. When you get there, I want you to tell everyone in your next meeting that you were late because this new guy, Geoff, didn't share his ideas in the last meeting. And I was like, touche, you got me. Okay, game on. And from then it was like, oh my gosh, the world is so different. And we did some incredible things as a result of being allowed to think, allowed to be creative. It's a funny thing that it seems so intuitive.
Because I mean, that's an amazing story. I mean, who was that guy? I would, just how
his name is Steve Koonin. He's one of the greatest influences in my life. He's now the chief executive officer of the Atlanta Hawks professional basketball team in Atlanta. He's the most creative, most amazing person I've ever worked for and with. Continues to inspire me on a daily basis. But he's he's, I jokingly used to tell him, it's your fault. You're responsible for me.